Humanity was different. The galaxy knew this. They smiled when no one else would. The Tveran warlords saw it firsthand. On the battlefield, their warriors fought with calculated brutality, their victory chants shaking the air. Yet, amidst the chaos, the humans grinned. Bloodied, broken, outnumbered, they still smiled. Not out of madness, but something worse. Understanding. They reveled in the moment, in the fight, in the sheer existence of the challenge. It unsettled even the fiercest warriors. The Valkyrie merchants had their own stories. Deals in the galactic markets were ruthless. Yet, when humans suffered devastating losses, they didn't weep. They laughed. One Valkyrie trader, after swindling a human out of half his fortune, had expected anger, perhaps even a duel. Instead, the man had chuckled, shaken his hand, and said, "That was a damn good move." That was the thing with humans. Failures were just stepping stones. Setbacks were jokes they hadn't figured out the punchline to yet. The Unari healers found them the strangest of all. The Unari were an old species, burdened with the weight of life and death. Mourning was sacred. Loss was respected. When a human lost someone, they grieved. Yes, but there was always a moment, a breath, where their lips curled upward, a soft, bittersweet smile as if whispering, "We had something worth missing." Even in pain, they found joy. Even in endings, they celebrated what was. Across the stars, every species saw it. In diplomacy, in war, in love and loss, humans smiled. They didn't just survive, they lived. It was their defiance against the void, against entropy, against the cold indifference of existence. And so, the galaxy grew used to it. Humanity, with their stubborn grins and reckless optimism, became a fixture in the cosmic order. Some admired them, some feared them, but all accepted this universal truth. Humans always smiled. Until the day they didn't. They thought humanity would break. That without their joy, their spirit would wither. But what emerged from the ashes was something else entirely. Something the galaxy was not prepared for. The Tveran were the first to understand. Their warriors had fought humans for decades, clashing blades with the species that bled and grinned and refused to die. But when they met the new humans, something was missing. No taunts. No thrill of battle. Just cold efficiency. Tveran ships were gone before they could even raise their shields. Entire outposts wiped out, not with fire and rage, but with the quiet inevitability of a force that had already decided the outcome. The Unari healers sent emissaries, desperate to understand. They had seen humans in pain before, seen them endure loss. This was different. Before, grief had been a wound they carried with pride, a scar that meant they had lived. But now, there were no scars. Just an emptiness where something had once been. When the Unari asked what had changed, the human only tilted their head and replied, "We see clearly now." The Valkyrie traders fared no better. Before, humanity had bargained, had laughed over losses, had turned every setback into a challenge to overcome. Now they took what they needed. No negotiations. No concessions. When the Valkyrie tried to fight back, they were not met with anger, but indifference. As if they no longer mattered at all. The Galactic Council called an emergency summit. Panic echoed through every chamber. Plans were made, alliances formed, desperate strategies drawn. But it was all for nothing. Humanity no longer played the game. They had moved beyond it. The war wasn't a war. Wars had emotion, struggle, a winner and a loser. This was something else. A slow, methodical unraveling. One by one, those responsible for Earth's fall vanished. Governments toppled. Economies collapsed. Borders dissolved. And through it all, humanity remained silent. They had once been the species that smiled through everything. Now, they had nothing left to smile for.